Hey guys, so I wanted to do a little pick a pile reading for you. This video is going to be time stamped. So after the intro, if you feel you know which pile you're drawn to, then you can just go ahead and skip to that portion of the video. Also, I'll put all the timestamp info in the description below. As always, be sure to like, comment, subscribe. That way I know what you want to hear more of and I know what's resonating for you. And thank you guys also for everyone that already is commenting and subscribing and everything. That helps my channel grow, and it makes it to where you guys don't miss out on any of the readings I'm putting out. So it really helps a lot. That way you guys don't miss out. And then this is also a general reading, so it's for the collective. So just take what resonates, leave the rest. Some of it may not apply to you. And yeah, so this one is about what you need to hear right now. So, if time's fluid. So if you're watching this 2 months later after I post it, or the next day, it's all the same. It's, whatever you need to hear when you watch this. So just go ahead and focus on the question, or a question of, what you need to hear. Or, just ask Spirit, God, Universe, what you need to hear right now. And just keeping that in mind, pick the pile that you're most drawn to. And as I said, the time stamps and everything will be in the description below. So this is pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, and pile 4. Okay, pile 1. So this is your reading. If you picked pile 1. Let's see. So let's see the horn out there. Looking like any of it's a go. Actually, let's do this one. So flexibility. So some of you guys, I feel like, there's an element of flexibility of changing as your path needs to change and things like that. But I do feel like some of you feel like these things are all growing. So it's like some of you might see, people around you growing one way or going another, and you're like, kind of asking if your path is the right one, or if you need to change things up. And this is basically just saying it doesn't matter exactly so much what other people are doing, but rather you need to be flexible in your own situation. So if your path currently calls for needing to adjust things, you adjust things. If there's a tiger that you're supposed to go towards or go away from, you do that. But either way, just being able to respond in wisdom to what you're being shown. Usually I like to start with tarot cards, but I do whatever I'm guided to. So, unfortunately, let's go with this one. Yeah, where you need to be, there you go. So where you need to be, acknowledge how you're feeling. Have faith the universe will take care of a current concern by providing the best possible outcome for all involved. But again, it's a path situation. It's almost like that. Like these feel like those, and this is like the path between. I know that's not what it's a picture of, but that's what I see. And so it's a matter of just trusting that if you need to move, if you need to do this, if you need to do that, then that might be what's called to happen. That might be what you need to do. So just because it doesn't look like the exact solid path, narrow path, the same thing that you expected, doesn't mean that it's not where you're supposed to be. You're where you need to be, and you will be guided accordingly and shown accordingly. Just trust, and yeah. And some of you, it is out of a darker area, you're going into a brighter area, things that, may seem less known, more unknown things. Some of you, it might be a situation where you're heading towards success and you've never really had that type of success before. So it's an element of stepping out of that fear of success, or stepping out of the fear of the unknown and just walking towards, and knowing that sometimes it might be shifts needed, whatever's needed, but regardless, you just trust. Then we can do these. So I don't read reversals. So, okay, and then I will say what these are. Okay, Knight of Swords, the Seven of Cups, the Five of Coins, So 5 of Pentacles. And then the Magician. Again, I'll put the cards, the decks I use in the comments, not comments, oh my gosh. No, in the description below. Comments. I don't know. Sometimes when I have like little slip ups of what I'm saying, I'll like incorporate it into the reading and it'll totally fit and I'll see it. I feel like there might be comments, something there with that, but we'll see. Okay, so Knight of Swords is motion, movement in a mental, in a communicative capacity, but it is forward movement. It is, you know, trying to figure things out. The way the Knight of Swords works, it's like, basically it's the energy of needing to know what's expected of you, to know what all the communication, you know, have everything clear and out on the table first while moving. But it's not so much first, I take that back, not first, but it's moving in that mentality of like, okay, well, this is how I need things done while I move. I need to know what's expected of me. I need to know what to expect. I need to plan out my stuff. So very much that type of logical thinking mindset. 7 of Cups, it's a lot of times a lot of choices, but sometimes it's a matter of empathy, where part of the reason why you're having trouble between choices is because you're empathizing with each different one and connecting and having compassion. And sometimes it's like, instead of, you know, coming from a detached point of view of, okay, this is what's going to serve me, you know? So sometimes it's a matter of that kind of energy. I'll go into it though intuitively as we go. All of it. 5 of Coins, it's kind of a beggar mentality generally. However, this one doesn't feel as same. This one feels like, for your guys' reading, this is a little bit different than it typically is. But basically, generally, 5 of Coins is you've kind of come from a place of holding on to what you have, or holding on to only what you think you deserve, and just kind of limiting yourself. So now by the time it gets to the 5 of Coins, it's like, okay, well, now I know I need help in this area. I need to do this. And so it's kind of a card about like asking for help, or, you know, seeing that, you know, you're kind of in need. But a lot of times it comes from that energy originally of not allowing the growth to come through, or the new things to come through, like to come to, yeah, some of it can be sometimes a fear of success situation that held you back at the 4 of Coins, and then come 5 of Coins, it's like, okay, we need help. And then the Magician, it's having all your resources, having everything, but the situation of knowing what to use when and how to use it, and even taking the initiative to use it. So let's go through it. Intuitively speaking, so this is like charging at it. So like charging at this mentality, and this, it feels like it's like laying down, and I just hear like laying down and kind of just like looking like, I feel like some of you guys may feel like in making your choices, or making this choice, this decision, or coming to choices, or maybe in general in your life, each time you've made choices, you felt like you were like, what is it? Almost like down, not down sad so much, but down like incapable, or, you know, like in your rest, in a place of that kind of felt like you didn't have the gumption, you didn't have the energy. However, in that, you might have felt like you were being watched. So you might feel like, even though you don't have the energy to make, you might feel like, or have felt like this in the past, or this might be like a pattern for you. However, you feel like, even though, you know, you haven't had the energy to make the choice, or to make the correct choice, because remember, the Knight of Swords is wanting to know all the right answers, not right answers, all the right information while moving. So you might have felt like, because everyone's watching you, you've moved, or you haven't moved, but just this idea that everyone was watching you and seeing you just almost pitiful, just not making choices and not doing anything. Not because you're actually pitiful, but you might have been feeling that that's what people were seeing you as. And kind of just blending in. I mean, I know all these cards generally blend in, but I really feel like everything blends in. So you kind of felt like, I don't know, in a way almost like powerless. And not just powerless because you weren't making choices, but powerless because of how quiet your voice might have been in that moment, yet how strong the other people's voices, or that feeling of being watched. So it's almost like they felt stronger in your path sometimes than you did. And so sometimes you did act upon that. Sometimes you might not have, I don't know. But in general, you might have had that pattern in yourself. And now I feel like it's like you're coming to a point, and some of you, this might be you in a familial situation, you know, you with your family, you with your kids, anything like that. But this also could be like an inner child thing where you're like, you know what? We need to stand up for ourselves. You know, we might have had a quiet voice this whole time, you know, thought that we would question our path because all the growth around us, all the loud voices around us that were watching us, talking about you and yourself, you know, and that's why, you know, we moved before, and it wasn't to our own good. It wasn't to your own good. It wasn't to what your heart was calling you to always. Sometimes it was just because you felt you were being watched. And now you're kind of like taking up their stuff and being like, okay, you know what? I'm going to stand up for myself. I'm going to do my thing. I'm going to stand up. Forget laying down. I'm going to stand up. Even if it's me, not just me, but me and my inner child, me and this place in myself that's felt stuck for so long because everyone else was louder than me. Whether they were actually louder than you, or whether it's just their presence felt louder than the presence you were allowing yourself to feel within yourself, of yourself, if that makes sense. And then you come to the Magician, you're like, I already have everything. I've got everything. So now it's a matter of using it, of doing with it what I need to do, of knowing what tools to use when, of knowing I have the power. Just because they were loud doesn't mean that I didn't have a voice. So it's like you're coming to your own voice in all this. You know, you're where you need to be. Acknowledge how you're feeling, have faith the universe will take care of a current concern by providing the best possible outcome for all involved, but really don't back down. And by don't back down, I mean, don't quiet your own voice just because the concerns and the outside voices are so loud. Just stay true to yourself. Be flexible in that, knowing that you being flexible doesn't mean allowing everybody else to come in. It means you trusting that you actually can hear. You have an inner voice. You're intuitive, that you can hear where you need to be. Some of you are really intuitive. And so, you know, you have a guide. You know, you trust yourself. You don't have to be beat down when you see or compare yourself or feel like you're being watched and your decisions aren't your own. Yeah, so I'll share this one. Again, I feel the idea of being watched. It's like she's got this message or this letter right here, and I believe, okay, I feel like it's being given to her. Yet she's so, and she's got the phone right here. So she's got all these message and then the time. So the idea of okay, you know, you're running out of time. She's got all that so much, yet she can't even feel or take in any of those blessings or any of those things because she's too busy feeling like she's being watched, like she's just looking out. I mean, she could be thinking, but this feels very much like she's just in the moment of assuming the position or assuming the role instead of really taking what has been given to her. So some of you guys have been blocked by what's been, or not by, but blocked from getting what is being given to you or the success that you were supposed to have because you were too busy trying to make it look good for everybody else, or trying to please other people, or trying to make the decisions you thought other people wanted you to make. And I mean, that's the thing too, is a phone it can go inward, not inward, but I mean, it can be received, or she can use it to call out. So she could have said something, but she was too busy feeling like she's watched. I just feel that energy of like, the clock's ticking, come on, you need to do this, you need to do this. And as soon as you did that, you'd back down and be like, okay, fine, I'll just take the whatever answer. Whatever you think I should do, I'll do it. Fine, whatever, we'll just do that way. You know, I mean, even this, like, look at this, like the Magician, it's like, you might have your own power and your own voice now, but some of you feel like you're being watched. It's a two-person thing. And some of you, it might be a relationship, a marriage. I mean, this is, you know, swords. So mental, logical, you know, verbal, emotions, money, finances, business. So this could be anything, but there is like a group of you that this is like, this could be relational, romantic, or even like business partnership, where it's like, you feel like this might be yours to take. You know, you might be the Magician and you might have all the tools, but you feel it being given to you. And you don't want, you don't want secondhand. You're not wanting the fruit of someone else's labor, and some of you, and you're not wanting to see someone else as the one that has the strength to get it. You're wanting to develop yourself and grow yourself and see that. So even if you do deserve that, you've been questioning, because you're like, the other person's voice and presence is so loud that it's like, it's been so hard to see yourself as the victor in everything. So it's really a matter of acknowledge how you're feeling. You know, you're not in the wrong to feel this way. However, know that your identity doesn't go away in this. You just have to keep moving forward and keep being true to yourself in what you're seeing and what you're noticing in yourself, what you're realizing the pattern has been, and change things, you know, and like know that you have the power to. You have the ability to not cave into the voices around you. I mean, I understand sometimes it's the presence, but regardless, stand up for yourself. You know, the clock's ticking, good for it. Keep it ticking. It doesn't matter. You're where you need to be. So if you're taking a little bit of time, it's because you need that little bit of time to make these decisions. You know, you do what you're being told to do in that by the universe. I'm not talking about people pressure around you, but you know, you follow your instincts in that. You follow your guides. Okay, well, I hope that resonated for you guys, pile one. Let me know in the comments if it did, if it didn't. Yeah. And then I will see you next. Hey, pile two. So if you picked pile two, this is your reading. Let's see. We're gonna go do this. I think we can, actually, no. I want to do tarot first, but I'm getting a feeling not to yet. So we'll do this one. So, break through to new dimensions. A new endeavor is on the horizon. Innovative energy wants to burst forth into your consciousness. Wow. That feels really good. Okay, so some of you guys, this is like where you are right now, and it's like, this is like your possibilities. This is like your potential. But it's like, there's a group of you that this is where you are right now, and then there's a group of you that you're actually kind of like in the middle already, starting to try to go there. And sometimes you let yourself think back like, oh, but what about that? And it kind of like might have hindered you. But no, you're doing amazing, and like there's so much like, I feel like there's this covering of stars right here, and it's like covering you. It's like covering you in this magic. Almost sometimes protecting you in that sense of like keeping you in the state of being, in this state of mind. I also see with this card is like this element of like all this stuff flows this way, and this is flowing this way. So sometimes like this breaking through this to this new dimension is literally like a new dimension where things operate differently. The energy looks different, and it's like things go different directions. But regardless, it's completely covered in like this magical covering of like protection stars. Okay, I think we can go with the tarot. Yeah, okay. I don't do reversals, so there's 9 of fire, so 9 of wands. 5 of air, so 5 of swords. Seven of wands, 7 of fire. And then messenger of air. So Knight of Swords. So 5 of Swords. I can't remember if I said that right. So it's interesting. I feel like, okay, so normally, well, okay, I'll just go through it. 9 of Wands is like, basically you're almost there, you know, pushing, and sometimes it's kind of discouraging. Like you feel like you might be, you know, losing your momentum, or, you know, you're losing your energy and you feel like you might not get there. However, I do feel like there is an element, especially with this card, and this deck is a little bit different. This deck is more so pushing towards the positive elements or viewpoints of the cards rather than the negative. So the 9 of fire, 9 of wands is, like I said, it's like pushing. So some of you, it feels like you're like, it's almost like this, like you're like grasping for straws, but it's not so much grasping for straws. It's literally just trusting that, it's almost like faking it till you make it, but in a good way. It's like trusting that things will materialize as long as you just have faith and you move forward, you know? Or these dreams that have been just dreams will materialize as you trust and you have faith and you move forward. The 5 of swords generally is kind of like a, it's almost like an obsessive energy, kind of a mental obsessive energy, but it's like, it's really like, you know, I'm going to have my say, I'm going to put this out there, and it doesn't matter if like it's a losing battle, generally is how it feels. However, in this deck, in this reading, what I'm feeling more with this is like, I'm going to push through. I'm going to do what all these others are doing. I'm going to do all this stuff and trust that I can, even though I'm a human and even though I'm not a bird, you know, like I can do these things too. So it's like, again, fake it, not fake it till you make it, but you know, stepping in these dreams that look like dreams and they look like they're too good to be true, and being like, okay, well, you know what? I'm just going to do it. Like, here's a rope here. I'm just going to go for it. I might not be like the birds, but let's do it. You know, I can do it. I can do it too. I can hang with the best of them, you know, and some of you might be doing that. I mean, let's see. Wands, swords. No, I mean, this is a battle in your mind, but it's also for a creative and passionate, like either opportunity or just attitude, mentality, and the way you are in general. So pursuit. So yeah, it's back and forth in your mind though. It's like, okay, let me put this out there. Okay, let me try to adjust my mindset to do this. And then now this is also defending your territory. This is like defending your position. This is, 7 of wands is like, okay, you know what? Like generally 7 of wands a lot of times has adversity and backlash. And it's like a matter of defending your position. However, this one, I'm not. Okay, for this reading for you guys, I feel like it might not be so much about the adversity as much as when you get up there and you're like up there and you're alone and you're like, am I supposed to be up here? Like, is this really the way things work? Like, is this actually my path? Like, it's, like, it's this idea of going to a place that is uncharted territory, is undiscovered, not just by you, like anybody. And you're like, is this really where I'm supposed to be? Like, is this for me? Is this at all supposed to be for anybody? Like, is anything going to come from this? So I feel like when you come here, physically, you know, passionate, creative, you know, what you put out is the energy. And then inside in your mental, you've been here of like, okay, well, let's just do it. I'm just going to do it. I'm going to hang with the best of them. And then you come up here and you're like, oh, crap, I look pretty different than the stuff up here. Like, this is different. And then, like, it's a matter of, like, understanding, like, taking your place there and being like, no, this is where I belong. This is, like, I'm in a different realm. Like, you know, I can hang with the best of them, even if that's, like, totally a magical element and different than anything I would have expected. And then the Knight of Swords, again, it's a movement in the mentality. It's like, okay, fine. You know what? I'm going to take all this and I'm going to move with knowing this information I've gotten. However, I do feel there is a group of you that kind of has allowed this moment and this moment to go backwards. It's like in the Nine of Wands, you're like, okay, let me go back and let me try to pull out things and then I'll turn this way. And then this goes forward. And then here it's like, wait a sec. I'm stuck. I'm by myself here. And then kind of like going backwards. Like, okay, you know what? I think I need to know everything that I'm dealing with first before I move forward, or as I move forward. I need to have the answers coming out clearly while I'm moving forward. Otherwise, I can't do this. And some of you guys are telling yourselves that. So I feel like, I know this is in general could be, you know, good with this reading, but I really do feel like some of you guys are hindering yourselves by allowing yourselves, or by allowing yourselves to tell yourself, or allowing yourselves to think that you need to know it all. You need to know it all. You need to know the elements of this uncharted territory. You've been blocking yourselves from being able to go into this uncharted territory. Because this isn't the person that gets there. Because this is the person that just looks back. This is a person that can get there. And this is working up the courage to work. But then when you get here, it's like you've been saying, oh, well, I'm kind of all alone here. And there's not much light up here. Like, I don't know what I'm exploring. I don't know if this is safe. And then you've been like, you know what? I think I need to play it safe. And I need to know everything as I'm moving. So let me just do like a not guess and check, but you know what I mean? Let me do that. And some of you guys, it might be a guess and check. Some of you guys, it's like, okay, well, I'm going to fathom this and I'm going to hypothesize this. And I need to find out if this is right before I move. And it's like, but by the time you do that, you're not asking it in the faith mentality of, I'm trusting and I'm going forward. You're asking it in a, this is my idea. I think this is right, but I need to double check. It's almost like you're like allowing room for questioning and allow in yourself, in your own faith, allowing room for questioning and allowing room for doubt. And then when you start allowing room for doubt and you start trying to look for reasons to doubt, then you start finding them. Not because they're actually there and they will limit you, but because that's the energy you're attracting. I hope that's resonating for you guys so far. Yeah, let's go with this one. Stillness. Yeah, look at that. That's so cool. And it's really, instead of going to this place of this, it's like a matter of being still. Like if she was up there and she was still and she, you know, kind of, I almost see it like going into a balance, like these feathers like start blowing in the wind, but they start like blowing to where it like almost helps her and creates this balance to where she's able to stay up there. I feel like she has everything she needs to stay up there. It's when she gets up here and she's not cool with the stillness here, and then she comes here and she's like, okay, well, we need to take action here. We need to always figure out what's going on and how this all works. And then you get out of this place of trust and stillness. But in reality, like, this is what you're called to, is this trust and stillness. Break through to new dimensions, a new endeavor. So new, something you don't know, you know, something that it does not fit your paradigm so far, is on the horizon. Innovative energy wants to burst forth in your consciousness, into your consciousness, sorry. But that's the thing, is it's not just going to stay here in this realm. If you allow yourself to move forward, it will totally reframe your mind. So you take this and you change this. You don't take this and change this. That's not what you're supposed to do. That's not how you get here. I love how like that's like that covering of stars that I said. Like you're covered in this magic. You're covered in this like manifestation energy. You're covered in it. You just like covered in it everywhere. You just need to trust and go forward in that. And then this is like, I mean, this is what deck? Oracle Visions. So the cards don't really have names or anything. But this is very similar to like the Devil card, if you really think about it. And the Devil card is a matter of calling things for what they are, seeing things for what they are. I mean, there's other elements in the Devil card as far as like temptation and like, you know, choosing your path. But also a lot of it is a matter of call things for what they are. So if you're starting to question things, call that for what it is. It's a lack of faith. Call it for what it is so you don't get stuck in it thinking it's a safe place or the place that'll get you here. You know, see things for what they are. See the rest and the stillness for what it is. Instead of like, it's funny, it's like, I know she's right here, but this right here, I feel like it's almost like he's the puppet there. And it's like, I know he's supposed to be like almost like a devil thing, but he's also almost like court jester. So court jester, I don't know, which is also like the entertainment. So it's like the entertainment is the one that's like being the puppet. So if you're puppeted by your entertainment, if your entertainment is the idea of feeling safe and secure because you know everything going on, then you're being puppeted by that. You're allowing that to change your reality rather than allowing this to change your reality. And like surrounded in it. Like, yeah, it's like, so yeah, I hope that resonated for you guys. Let me know in the comments, you know, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Yeah, but you guys aren't limited to, you know, what your mind, where your mind is taking you, where your mind is saying it needs to be in order to feel safe. You're so much further than that. Hey, pile 3. So this is your reading. If you picked pile 3, let's see what we got here. Okay, let's start with this one first. It says, excuse me, it says, convey your meaning. Reflect on the way you communicate with others and with yourself. Be sure to express your thoughts and feelings from your heart and with respect and sincerity. I feel like some of this is also, it's like when you don't do that, or when you're kind of back and forth wishy-washy, like it almost feels like sometimes you get tangled up in your own stuff, whether it's like insincerity or just tangled up in like your own path of like what you've shown others you are versus like where you are. And then like sometimes it's hard to really like be on your own path because, you know, you haven't really been honest with yourself or clear about things or expressing yourself. It's like 1 minute if you're not expressing yourself and being honest with yourself, or honest, not even honest with the people around you, but like straightforward and like putting down your boundaries and stuff like that. Then when you come to a time that you really need to, it's like it can be taken really weird, or you can start questioning, oh, is it really okay for me to have this boundary? Not because it's not okay, but because you've never experienced yourself doing that with the little ones nearby, not little ones, but you know, the little boundaries that you've had in the past, opportunities to put down, that by the time it gets to like a big one, you're like, you feel like almost like guilty for putting down a boundary. And that's not for all of you. Some of you, it's more so about the meaning and just like how you present yourself. But some of you, it does feel like you've had trouble putting down serious boundaries because some of the little ones are the ones along the way that you've had opportunity to put down. You've kind of just fluffed over or just been like, it's okay, whatever. You know, they're them, or I'm not going to deal with that there. So I feel like some of you guys are dealing with that. Let's go with Let's go with, I don't know, actually not this one yet. Hold on. Okay, let's go with these. Okay. So the Queen of Pentacles. It's a crazy card. Ace of Wands. The Two of Wands. Okay. And then the Prince of Wands. So this one's kind of like pretty much like the Knight of Wands is the way that card is, what it symbolizes. So Queen of Pentacles is about creature comforts, but more so like influence over that. So influence with people or influence in your environment by taking care of the creature comforts, the, you know, making food for people, the, you know, doing favors like that, you know, not favors, but, you know, things like that. The tangible, the things, you know, things like that. But it's really, it is an area of influence, or it's an energy of influence. Ace of Wands, especially this one's so weird. Okay. Ace of Wands is, you know, a new opportunity, new, it could be grabbing onto your power, holding your power. For some, it could be a phallic card. But it's, you know, it's passion, creativity, just this fiery energy, this go energy. I mean, that's wands all the way across. So this could be a matter of fire, passion, go. But then this is, Pentacles is, finances, business, things like that. But I mean, this could be in that realm for you guys, for some of you, and some of you it may not. It may still fit for you guys. It might just be more so the energy. Two of Wands is like deciding, you know, surveying, okay, what you're going to do next, but it's also bringing out, like starting to decide to bring out and share your idea or, you know, this energy with others. But sometimes it is like a one-on-one thing. Sometimes it's deciding factor of like between paths, you know, that type of thing. And then the Knight of Wands, it's motion and it's movement, but it's creative, passionate, go, fiery. Again, sometimes this can be also a very, you know, relationship, like, sexual card. Let's see, I'm trying to see what I'm seeing here. Okay, so I feel like for some of you, this may transfer in relationships, but this is in general what you've been dealing with. Is it's like you've been like the Queen of Pentacles of, okay, I'm going to take care of what I can work with. I'm going to influence things by what I can work with. I'm going to deal with the things that are obvious for me, and sometimes maybe not put down really deep boundaries, or not, you know, not do things that hit too far deep. And I'm just kind of going to take care of the things that are obvious that need to be done, you know? Like, I'm not trying to go too deep. I'm not trying to rock the boat. Some of you guys might be telling yourselves that. So while you're doing that and dealing with the things like that, you felt like you've taken your power. But then you've also sometimes, it's like this, like I said, when you put down your energy, you put down your boundaries and take that energy of the Ace of Wands of, okay, I'm going to use my power. It comes to this Two of Wands, and it's like when people come here, they're like, wait a sec, I thought you're with me. I thought these were the options. Now you're showing me this is the option. Now this is the way things work. It's like, again, this in consistency and boundaries, or inconsistency in the way you deal with people. And then you get this person, and this one's like, well, I'm moving, I'm going forward. So it's like, it feels like some of you are dealing with right now, being confronted with people that have felt like they've gotten the go with you. And because you've kind of just been like brushing it off as, oh, I'm not going to put down any boundaries, or, oh, they don't mean this, or, oh, this is okay, you know. And then like, as soon as they hit it, they're like, whoa, wait a sec. And I just feel like this like energy of like you feeling like this is you holding your power. But in a way, sometimes you've given kind of mixed signals, because one minute you've been all like, in their mind, gung-ho, because you haven't really said anything. And then other times, suddenly you're like, no, we're not going to do this way, or we can only do things this way. You know, so, and it's only been because you've focused on the surface. You've focused on the things that you can influence in the obvious stuff, and not been very much willing to rock the boats and address things that went deeper or that might affect people deeper. I also feel like, see, this one's like gung-ho going, but I feel like this one, like, it's almost like turned nose up, and it's like one over the other, and it's almost like there's this really like stubborn energy coming at you here of like, well, you know what, this is the only way, you know what I mean? It's like you've, in not putting your boundaries down and not speaking up for how you felt about things and didn't feel about things, you've really, in some ways, maybe led some people on, or led some people to think that what they were doing was okay, to where some people, and like I said, this can be relationship based, and this can be like just in general, the energy you put out and the pattern you've been in relating with people. And sometimes it can be even businessy, where like, you know, you've been like, okay, well, this is okay. This is okay. No, we're not going to go here. And because you haven't ever said no, suddenly this is like the cruelest thing you can do in their mind. Or you sometimes question yourself. It's like, as if you're not allowed to. But no, this whole thing right here, like, I feel like you're not speaking up and showing your true self and who you are and where you stand in things has made some people feel really cocky sometimes with you, in the sense that they feel like they know you, they know it all, and they're not going to encounter any kind of surprises. So they know what to expect. Not because they actually do know you, but because you haven't stuck up for yourself. So now suddenly you're like sticking up for yourself, and it's like out of nowhere, like this like hand out of the sky. I was like, whoa, where did that come from? You know, so this energy you're putting out with people is this just like, whoa, where'd it come from? But it's not because it's not yours to hold, and it's not because this isn't right for you, but it's because you haven't been consistent with that in the past. So some of you guys may need to hear that, in the sense that like, if you are already understanding this, you might just need to hear that like some of this backlash you're dealing with in when you put your boundaries down, it's just because you haven't this whole time, that people aren't used to it. Like, you seem like a different person. And so it's not a time for you to second guess yourself and think that you're in the wrong, or you're not being kind, or you're being cruel, or anything like that. No, it's a time for you to be like, well, you know what? The person that I showed them I was and the person I am are two different people. So what do I expect? And it's not because you need to stop being that. It's because you just need to be like, you know what? It's going to take time for people to adjust, but I'm going to keep doing me. I'm going to keep being honest with myself and putting down my boundaries, like I've been shown, like I've been seeing and feeling that I need to start doing. Wait, there's something else here. Hold on. Yes, and this other person, or this energy coming in here feels covered. Like, it feels like they're covered in this security of knowing what to expect and knowing how you take things and knowing how you don't. But that's based off of the past. So they have this confidence, and it's just like, and like, it's funny too, because it's like these things right here, and it's like, it's coming off. I do feel like some of you guys, yeah, it's like you're shedding your old past of only being that, or only, you know, of not rocking the boat. And when you put out that, when you say, okay, I'm taking my power, I'm holding my power. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. So she's got like on this thing, right? Or she, yeah, I can't see, but it doesn't matter. But they're like on this thing, and it's like they're sitting on that, and then there's like, is that a bonsai? No, but that's like a tree, right? Not a bonsai. I know what a bonsai looks like, but that's like a tree, right? And like it's growing there, and it's like a little tiny little like bowl or something, but it's like making their place up there, because they're like, okay, well, I'm gonna sit up here. And there's this element of taking your power, and sometimes taking your power isn't just taking your power in that moment and questioning, is this okay? But it's taking your power and setting up shop there, setting up you know, residence there and being like, okay, this is now where I'm going to be. It's going to take people some time to get used to it. Might even take me some time to get used to it. But as long as I commit to being up here, then I'm going to get used to it. And it's going to be a new way of life for me. I'm going to, you know, plant some trees here. I'm going to take off my mask. Like, look at that. Is that a mask? Yeah, take off my mask. I don't need a mask anymore. I'm taking my power. You know, like... And you weren't in the wrong here. You were doing what you knew how to do here, but you were limiting yourself because you were saying that I'm just going to deal with creature comforts. And that's not only what that card means, but for this reading, the context, that's what this is saying to me for you guys. Yeah. And then relaxation. Yeah. Relax in it. Like, don't question it. Don't go backwards. Keep your power, but again, take up residence. Everything is saying take up residence where you're at in this newfound power and just trust and keep walking in that. It's funny. This is like an umbrella. And it's like, I feel like, because, you know, if you think about like a hammock, I mean, a hammock isn't full round, but it's like pocket that way. And then this is a pocket above. And I just feel like it's like circling. It's like you're in this rest place. You're cocooned. You're protected. You just have to trust that that's your spot now. And from there, you'll grow and things will grow and you'll be able to branch out. But you need to come from a place of that power in yourself. Yeah. Okay. So that's your guys' reading, pile 3. I hope that resonated. Let me know what did and didn't. I'll go ahead and put the decks. I don't remember if I said this already, but I'll go ahead and put the decks I used in the comments. Not the comments, sorry. Oh my gosh. In the description. So yeah. Hey, pile 4. So if you picked pile 4, this is your reading. Let's see. I'm actually feeling this. Yeah, these first. Good. I like starting with the tarot first anyways, but I haven't been really getting the go on it for this video. So this one I did. So, and I don't read reversals. So okay, so King of Wands, Judgment, High Priestess, High Priestess, and the Page of Cups. Okay, so let's see what we see with this stuff. You know what's funny? I'm looking Wands and Cups here. So passion, creativity, and then like emotional and connections. I'm just gonna write out, say like these unicorns all around there is reminding me this. It's kind of interesting. It's like around the trees, around the life source. Okay, so I'll just go into, so King of Wands is, sometimes it can be domineering energy, but not domineering, that's not the word I'm looking for. Is it not manipulative? Oh my gosh, what's the word I'm looking for? Demanding, there we go. But King of Wands is passion, creative, all that, but it's authority in that realm. So authority through passionate things, creativity, things like that. Like really understanding that realm, I feel like for some of you guys, like really flowing in that for sure. Like I see this right now, like it's just sticking out to me how, you know, obviously they have the salamanders there, but then it's like there, and I just get this vision, this idea that like you understand it so well that you're able to bring out what's inside you, what's covering you, and like manifest it in your environment through creativity and creative pursuits or passions. It could be even passions, yeah. But nature, like I really feel like some of you guys, it's really a connection with nature too. And then there's like the dragon there. But judgment is it's kind of basically like, it's the energy of being able to forgive and move forward so you can adjust the future. So you can adjust your outcome. But it's really like a matter of being able to look back and forgive and move forward and understand that you're not tied to the sins of your past, or you're not tied to the patterns of your past. You know, you don't have to be a slave to that. And so there's like an element, and sometimes it's forgive yourself for the wrong mentalities that you had that caused you to act in that way. But really it's like to move forward, to gather around this new source of healing, light, trust, of just like the new energy, kind of, is what I'm really seeing, especially for this reading. High Priestess is knowing the difference with mental and intuitive, and knowing when to use it, knowing how to combine it, knowing, just having the wisdom to know and to have that understanding, and like knowing your inner voice and knowing your conscience, your intuition, and just having that energy of being able to receive that and hear that and flow in that. And then Page of Cups is, sometimes it's a potential or a messenger in the emotional, psychic, intuitive realm, but sometimes it's also somebody coming into your life that's going to cause a reaction or a emotional let go, let loose, connecting, or psychic, you know, connecting. So sometimes it's just an opportunity coming your way in that way. But sometimes it's just, like I said, the energy and the potential of that. What's funny is this one's eyes are closed and this one's eyes are open. This one's holding this and this one's holding this. And I feel like there's something of that where for some of you guys, you feel like you either can be the messenger to allow people to heal themselves, come out of themselves, get emotional, psychic upgrades, intuitive, emotional, intuitive breakthroughs. Or you can be the King of Wands and have authority in your creative and passionate endeavors, or, you know, environment around you, to where you kind of create your own, you know, you change your, not outcome, but maybe some of you outcome, but you change your environment. But I feel like some of you guys have a disconnect there. Some of you guys have this disconnect that if you're just this messenger, you don't get to see what happens when you are the messenger. You don't get to see the growth that happens in some people. And there might be people close to you that you're like really hoping there's going to be growth, breakthrough and everything. And you haven't really gotten to see it. And you're just like kind of questioning sometimes, some of you, if that breakthrough is coming. And then the other side, like I said, is like full king manifestation. And it's like, you just go between these two. And it's like, when you do this is such a powerful thing that can exist together. But the only reason it's not existing together for you, and it's some of you guys, it's existing in the negative of that, of questioning, am I going to get to see this? Or not negative, but like going into that place of not trusting, is because when you have focused on this role of being able to help and being able to bring and being that messenger, you've kind of lost sight of the fact that this is your role. And this is what you've been doing in all the other areas of your life. So it might be a disconnect where like this area of your life, you're like this, and then you come to this area where you could take this energy there, but for some reason you haven't seen it be able to connect in your mind, that when you've gotten there, you've kind of abandoned this mentality and been like, yeah, but I can't do that. or that's not going to happen, or I don't know for sure what's really happening, you know? And I feel like yes, okay. So it's really a matter of like allowing yourself to be a light to people, allowing yourself to be a light, but trusting that you might not see them forgive their past. You might not see them turn away from their old ways. You might not see all that, but you just have to have the intuitive sense. You have to have the trust, the inner voice. You have to hear your inner voice, trust your inner voice, that that's what's going to happen, and just keep going forward. Otherwise, you get to this place to where you should be excited you have this cup, but suddenly you're here and all you can think is how you don't have this. And suddenly this isn't very powerful. Not because it's not actually powerful. Wow, this is really energetically hitting me hard. It's feeling weird. Not because it's not powerful, but because you haven't claimed your power in it. So you see yourself as lacking when you're there. When in reality, this is what you're supposed to be. You're supposed to take this and take it there. That's one group of you. Let me see if there's another way as far as... Okay, so there's another group that you take this and you're in this area, this creativity and this, you know, authority in that way, and you have that power and you're like, okay, cool, let me share this. Let me spread the message. Let me spread the message. Let me manifest this. Let me share things. Let me help other people see what I'm seeing and do what I'm doing. And then you come to this place of like, okay, well, I need to figure out how to do this. Like, I need to trust. I want to do the right way. I want to make sure I want to make sure that I'm listening to my higher self about how to do this, that this isn't all in myself, which is fine. You're just trying to take a moment out. It's almost like the hermit card of like, or not even hermit, like the hangman of, okay, let me take a step back. Let me like go inwards, and resting in that and trusting. And then you come here and you have the cup and you're like ready to give it. But I do feel like if you are that group that's doing that, you feel like there's like a lot of motion around you, but you feel like where you are is kind of plain and like nothing's happening, and you're questioning again, why isn't this happening yet? I've come all this way and this isn't happening. And the reason it's not happening, I mean, I guess this is the same group kind of, I guess, unless I don't know how you're taking the reading, but I guess, yeah, it's not happening because again, you're forgetting the power that you have, that you've come from here and that you are able to do this. Like, this is your goal, not your goal. This is your path. So it's just a matter of just trusting and not forgetting that you carry this with you when you're over here. Yeah, because this just feels sad to me. And it's not because it's actually sad. It's because he literally is forgetting that. Or it's literally forgetting that. It's almost like when you're waiting on the reaction from the other person, for some of you, it's becoming about, everyone else, and you lose touch and lose sight of your own personal growth, that suddenly you're like waiting for a reaction. You're waiting for a response. You're waiting for approval. And I'm not saying that's what you're doing, but that's the same energy you're inviting in, of waiting for that approval and questioning yourself and doubting your path as you're doing that, because you're telling yourself you need that approval. When in reality, this was never about approval. This was about sharing a light, spreading a message. Whether people react or approve of it the minute they hear it or not, that has nothing to do with you. And sometimes they won't, or sometimes it'll be bad reactions, and it might actually be a really great thing for them. It's just they need to have, let it marinate a little bit. So it's not about that. It's about you doing what you're called to do, no matter what the reaction is from other people. Oh my God, that's so ridiculously heavy right now. Hold on. Sorry. I mean, I know they're like different color hair, but still, I feel like it goes that way. They're like coming out like that of those. Okay. This one, I don't know. Let's go with this one first. Unexplained wonder. Exactly, it can't be explained. Okay. Magical blessings and miracles are occurring in your life. All your prayers are answered now. Exactly. It's like if you start trying to explain it, if you start trying to quantify it, if you start trying to say, well, what about over here? It looks different. Or what about that? You lose the power that you had in this. You lose that manifestation mindset that attracted so much blessings and life and you shared with others in the first place. It's like, I almost feel like this is like one, like this is like that. And then this is like that. And it's like, no, just trust. You're already there. You've already got it. Just don't get stuck in the mentality of you need it explained away that everything is good by other people, or you need a reaction, or you need to, you know, like, it's not about getting any kind of approval from anyone else. No. Yeah. Yeah. Wow, that's crazy. Here, I'll show this. So she's got, it's so weird. It looks like almost like, I just think of it like a castle right there. And this is like a sewing machine thing or whatever. And there's the threads here. But it's almost like, I also hear like the follow the yellow brick road thing. I just imagine like this whole like path, this like magical path. And she's got, you know, she's got strings of it to create it in her hands. Like she's already got it. So when she starts questioning it, then it changes shape. It changes into something different. She already has it though. It's also like, I mean, unicorns are huge with rainbows too. This deck doesn't use a lot of rainbows actually. So it's kind of funny that like, I mean, I wish there's no rainbows here, but it's, again, it's trusting. It's trusting. It's saying that, okay, I have them trusting me when I'm sharing this stuff, when I'm manifesting this stuff. Then, hold on. Because that's how I'm seeing it this way. But if I read it as like, as the judgment card, yeah, I mean, yeah, they have to trust. They have to let go of their past stuff and move forward. Yeah. So anyways, but if they can do that and I'm expecting that, then I need to be able to do that and follow my heart. It's like, remember this has like, this is the stick here with the tree there. And then here's the tree here. So it's like trusting, like tree of life, the universe, you know, trusting that everything is flowing, is in its purpose. It's just, it's a matter of not getting caught up with needing to quantify every little thing or needing to get approval, not approval, but feedback. Because sometimes like, especially with string and like, you know, like you pull one area and then this other part gets taut and it changes that and it moves this and it does that. And it's like, you don't need to do that. You don't need to test things out and do all that. You just flow in what you've been shown. Like, it's almost like this. It's like they're looking up. They're looking up. And then he's like looking around trying to make sure everything's okay. And it's like, if you do that, you're going to lose the path. You're going to lose this whole energy, the momentum that created that in the first place. And she looks like it. She looks disheveled and like stuck in that. Not stuck. Stuck's not the right word. Distraught. I mean, it is. It's like that distraught energy of like, well, what do I have here? What am I bringing? Oh, there you go. Look at that. Rainbows. Miracles. What am I bringing? You're bringing miracles. So just quit thinking you can actually fathom it through your mentalizing state. Quit thinking that you can understand it. Just bring it, because that's what you have. You're this light. As soon as you start trying to understand if it's possible, or if other people are seeing the light as bright as you, or if this, like, it's like you're looking at the people and then like, okay, can they see this? And if they can't see it, then maybe that's not what it is. And then as soon as you start doing that, then you lose this power. You lose this manifestation. Literally. See, look at that. You guys just need to understand, like, you've already got it. Quit questioning it. Because when you question it, you lose sight of that state of being, of that manifestation ability where literally you can take stuff that you're clothed in and be like, this is super cool. There we go. Boom. Make it. Put it into life. You know, there's a salamander or whatever, you know, in the flesh. I mean, I know that's not what that card is about, like, you know, but that's visually what I'm seeing intuitively in this. So yeah, you already have it. You've got it. Like, just go. You're good. Quit questioning it. Quit trying to quantify it. Quit trying to explain it. Once it's explained, it loses it's not itself anymore. It's different. It says, all your prayers are answered now. Magical blessings and miracles are occurring in your life. All your prayers are answered now. Hope that resonated with you guys. I mean, come on, look at that. That's so cool. Okay. Let me know in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I will see you later.